What's up, everybody, and welcome to the sixth episode of the All About Life podcast. Sorry if I sound like a little tired. I have been a little tired this week. I don't know. Been sleeping a little bit more. Other than that, shit been kind of cool. I hope y'all been good. But I really wanted to, cause I've been bullshitting about it for the last couple of weeks. I always been saying like, yo, I'm gonna come in here and talk about space, but I guess today really only got like a topic in that space. Because it's just interesting. Like honestly, like, all right. Basically, I'm gonna start out by this. I'm gonna say this. I'm not like an astronomer. Nigga, I ain't never. I took a couple astronomy classes. I don't really know how to calculate an astronomical unit, but I know that's what you use in space and shit like that. But I've always been fascinated by astronomy and astrophysics, and just the fact that like when you think of things like on planet scales, like there's at least some sort of rule. But like honestly, out in space, there's no rule to anything. Like there's no like the universe owes you no explanation, right? Like it's just like there's so many things. Like okay, here's my first thing, right? Space, like it's so big, it's so everything is so far that time itself it's helped me to learn that time is nothing more than like a general human construct to help us navigate through our days, because everything is so different. Like certain planets take more time to orbit the sun. They have longer days. So like some planets will be 48 Earth hours or 72 days, nigga, like, till it changed. Like time is nothing but a construct. There is no such thing as like, oh well, the fucking you know, I guess like the next solar system over, it'll be like 25 million minutes or miles away. It doesn't work like that. You calculate in astronomical units. There's literally so many things about space that like it's just like holy fuck, bro. Like, okay, another one. I keep like okay, the fact that the universe itself continues to expand, and every moment that there's new stars being constructed and new galaxies, right? Like it hasn't stopped. And to put that even into a even more kind of like perspective, so what we have is we have like literally space, and then we have like the observable universe. So some stuff is so far away in like genuine length, like it's so far that we actually have no chance of ever seeing that galaxy. It's just gonna fade, right? It's so far. It's like driving in a car, and a car is you're looking in your rearview mirror, and a car just goes over the horizon. Just imagine it being that. It is literally that. That is what the observable universe is. We have certain galaxies and things that we can reach, but there are things that we will see, but we will never be able to reach because of the speed that we're going, right? And that it's all expanding, and even more is it's gonna fucking collapse. But obviously, it expands because that's how the Big Bang started, was because it was all, one little, or not little, but I guess you could say it was one kind of blob of a bunch of shit, and it just exploded and it never stopped. And, but gradually they say now that it's slowing down on creating like they're slowing down. I don't know how the fuck they know that, but I guess you can see it because like I guess you could say like space in itself like is which is why I guess it was another reason why it's interesting, is because space is like it's like a literal map, like a historic map. Like you can see where it started, you can see where it ends, you can see the middle of stuff. So it's just so much. It's genuinely so interesting to think like how big it is, and there's so much to learn. It's just, and there's the argument, that, people say like, well, we haven't really seen most of the ocean. And I actually agree with you. Like, I feel like both exploring the like ocean and space is important equally. I don't really want to place importance on either because I think both can tell us about the history of our planet and the history of the universe. Honestly, like when you like think about like the moon and shit. The moon is a satellite. Like the moon literally was like a planet that crashed into Earth and like it just kind of like boofed back up in there and it just stayed there, and it has so much, so much like importance on just our gravitational pull on the tides on our in our oceans. Like there's so much that it does. Even the sun, you know, like the universe is fucking crazy, y'all. Like it's nuts. Like just when you think about all the shit that's working at itself, you like, oh, there's really no rules, but the shit just doing whatever the fuck you want. Like even planets. Like think about the planet. Okay, think about planets because it's like there's millions of galaxies. This thing is, you know, hundreds of millions of astronomical units, which is what people use to calculate, like, you know, distance, like hundreds of millions of quintillion, bedillion, you know, fucking miles of fucking far. And it's just like, there's so many diverse planets. Like you have planets that are like ours. Like, you know, we have this, you know, Kepler. And so what it does is it you know, gives good readings on planets. So like it'll give you Earth-like planets. There's you know, they're light years away. I think the closest one is 500 light years away, but it's bigger than ours, but it's literally habitable. You know, you have literal planets that rain diamonds because of the pressure and all the stuff that goes on in its atmosphere, that it literally just rains diamonds. It's literally it's the richest planet. Like if you were to go there, you could actually you could make it to the where like 24 karat real diamonds would cost 20 cents because that's how many it is. There's so many planets. Like another planet, okay, there's a planet basically that we like, okay, so the Kepler, it reads stuff, but so one time they were just, I guess, looking through it and they're like, well, there's something like they were using the stuff and they're like, it's like there's something there, but when we look at it, there's nothing there. But when we keep like, you know what I'm saying? Like when we use our readings and shit, there's nothing there. Nothing is there. Like, but there's something. There's literal like, there's a bunch of data saying that there's a planet here, my nigga. And they're looking up and they're like, bro, there's no planet here. What are you talking about? It's because the planet is literally so close to the sun that it's absorbing all the heat, and it basically absorbs 100% of the sun, like, so like of everything. So it's the surface of it is 1,800 degrees. So it's just black. Like the sun reflects off of it and it still does not show anything. It's just black. It's just seared because of the heat. And we miss planets like that all the time. Like just shit like that is so interesting to me. Like, damn, nigga, we missed a whole planet simply because it was so close to the sun. Like there's so many things like UV, like light rays and shit. Like we see what we see because of the sun. Like it's really crazy to think about it. Like I honestly, like I really do be like at a loss for words even now. Like it's something that I like because it's so like we as humans are so curious. Like when you think of, not to say like so many times, but we as humans are so curious when it comes to exploring and new things. When you look at like history, you see, you know, the Spanish, the English, the Portuguese, the first humans to, you know, the first Africans would travel down the rivers, you know, in boats, you know, to get to new places because it's in our nature to explore. Like there's so much to explore in the universe that it would take lifetime. It will take lifetimes. It will take lifetimes. Not would. It will take lifetimes to even understand where we're coming from. You have, which is even more interesting to me. You have fucking stars that dip in luminosity, meaning because stars are always hot, they're always bright, and that's how you can see them. Some niggas just think that like the Big Dipper and all the constellations are super close. Like, no, brother, they're fucking far. But because of how bright they are and then how they align in our sky, that's what it looks like, right? So stars are gonna burn until they burn out. This star that these scientists were looking at, so how I can say it is the luminosity just continued to dip while they were monitoring it. Like every so often it would be super bright, then it would just kind of dim out. Then it would be super bright, then it would be kind of dimmed out. And it's called the Tabby star. So they're like, oh shit, this is crazy shit. Because like, this is like one of the first times humans were like, oh fuck, we might have just actually encountered a different civilization. Because nigga, we've never seen in our normal interaction with the universe, we've never seen a fucking star just go, I'm hot, now I'm cold. Now I'm hot, now I'm cold. So we thought, so there's I don't know if it's, generally practiced around the entire world science community, but I would figure there could be some truth to it as well. I don't think it's no crazy alien shit. I think it's genuinely just like a gauge. So it's called the Kardashev scale. And so what they thought they had come into contact with was like a type 3 civilization. So there's multiple types. So like type 1 is like us, Earthlings. We don't got too much, but we can get to a different planet. You feel me? Like we can kind of mildly like use like solar panels and energy, but then you have type 2 civilizations that are capable of harnessing the energy radiated by its own star. And then you have type 3 civilizations that are able to possess energy on a scale of its own galaxy, meaning they can control the stars to how they want. Like if it's too fucking hot, they can dim that bitch if they want, which is nuts to think about. Like you could build mega structures around them. Like it sounds really weird. It sounds really like fictitious, but it's a scale to be used because like things like that can't happen. Like we don't know about it. I don't believe like, and what it ended up just literally just being what it was the star literally just dips in its luminosity. It just fucking does it. And I'm just like, oh shit. But that's so interesting to me. It's the universe is so grand. It has so many things that it's just like it's like Pandora's book. It's like Pandora. Like once you open it, it's just hard to close it, and there's so much in it. And one thing I wanted to also talk about, like there's so many potential habitable colonies. I wanted to kind of talk about like how I felt about like colonizing planets. Like, can we colonize planets? Is it a reward for it? And so like in theory, we can, right? We haven't done it yet, but we do have the capabilities on a basic scale. And I don't know like crazy, like you just like look up and it's like fucking crazy. Like the movement to Mars, right? Like the movement to Mars is a gradual move, right? Elon wants to put his feet there, but the thing that it's going to take so much time to actually build up Mars, right? So there's working theories on how to even get the atmosphere working. So Elon was thinking, and other scientists are thinking too, if you nuke shoot nuclear missiles at both of the polar caps, you can kind of like change the rotation, and then you can kind of like reverse what's going on. And this is a working theory, right? And so they say that's a possibility, but we don't have any mechanisms that can just change a fucking entire environment to a habitable human environment where we can just take our masks off and our helmets off. We can do it, but it's expensive, like money wise and resource wise, because you got to think, you got to give niggas to eat, niggas to drink water. They got to have all types of equipment, everything. They have to have basically everything to survive, because if anything goes wrong, they are fucked. If they don't have any if you don't have so much as a fucking screwdriver out there, you are fucked, bro. You can't come back. We don't have the technology to fly there and fly back. Once you fly there, they're thinking like right now, okay, like Elon Musk is trying to do something where you can to fly there and successfully land and fly back. But that in itself is fucking hard. That's hard with today's technology. He has a couple rockets that he's been shooting off, and they crash obviously, but they crash because there's data to be siphoned from those crashes, right? So like what they're doing is they're using that data to kind of try not to crash. As repeating myself as that is, that it's math. You need empirical data. You need technology. You need like I said, empirical evidence to make sure that you know what you're doing. Because if anything goes wrong on the crash, we looking at Elon and all his boys just explode in front of our face, and we like, oh shit, god damn, that nigga is dead. Like everybody had to watch that one shuttle blow up. Like we'd have to literally watch that. So this is a very serious thing about colonizing. It takes a lot of resource intelligence, and it just takes a lot of moving fucking parts, right? And then, like I said earlier, living there, nuking the polar caps, we're carbon based. So we need oxygen, carbon dioxide, things of that nature. We need those components to survive, right? Every planet don't got that. Every planet doesn't have what we need. So we sometimes just thinking about going to certain planets, in the future, because I believe, now space travel is expensive because of technology. But in the future, I do believe that it will be commercialized and people will be able to, make like a fucking Amazon for space, my nigga. Like that's going to be able to happen because technology advances, and especially in as long as capitalism might be around, that might be a possibility, right? Because, there'll be a lot of competing people, like, you never know, like literally in the future, like 200 years from now, like Boeing, like the air company, them niggas might have like a colony somewhere because they specialize in fucking, like nigga space shit, or not just space shit, but aircraft, shit like that. So I feel like you'll see more people in space, you'll see more things like that, but that doesn't mean that it's more habitable. We have to figure out like ways to do that. So like I said, like even just the composition, like on Mars, them niggas, you can't just take your mask off, like at all. It lacks a proper atmosphere for us. You got shit like some planets don't have atmospheres and some planets don't have no pressure. Like the pressure of some planets is completely different. So like on some planets you'll feel like literally one half of yourself, and then on other planets it'll feel like three of yourselves on top of each other because of the pressure of the planet. So there's so many working things going on. Like even when you leave Earth, like even when you're leaving Earth and there's a literal cloud of radiation that you're leaving into. It's a belt of radiation that you have to get past. Ain't nothing crazy, but it just goes to show you that leaving the planet is not easy, nigga. It's expensive. Like there's food. You set up a camp. Like imagine you put the camp up. Y'all got the steel ready. Y'all put it on the grass. Next thing you know, it starts sliding down the grass all the way into a fucking like a waterfall. Cause the alien dude, it doesn't let the metal stick. Like imagine y'all just did all that shit. And for some reason now you got to slip and slide for a house that just fell off like a cliff. And you like, what the fuck are we gonna eat now? It's so many working possibilities of shit that'll fuck you over. But there's benefits. Like there's benefits. You know, it may not end up like Prometheus, where like that dude like spent like $10 billion to get to space only to get beat up by an 8-foot tall alien that was a fucking albino. And the nigga was like, why are y'all even here? You know, it may not end up like Prometheus, right? Like there's a lot of benefits to happen to actually getting these, right? Right? Like, all right. A benefit to me is that our species has a chance to survive as a unit. Like, cause, okay. When you look at Earth, it's not just humans, right? It's not just like, oh, you gotta watch out for the humans because we drive too many Ford F-150s or we got nukes. It's also the fact that we have climate change. And climate change, to be honest with you, it has no bearing and it doesn't give a fuck and it does whatever it wants when it wants. We're due for an ice age. We're due for Yellowstone to blow up and, you know, put more dust in the air to block the sunlight and stop photosynthesis. These are things that have a possibility of happening. We're due for an earthquake. California is due for a major earthquake that's going to sink that motherfucker and break the fault. There's a lot of plate tectonics going on. There's a lot of shit going on, right? There's like when you look at, Louisiana. Look at Louisiana, okay? In Louisiana, there's no, it's like going underwater. So we have all these issues here. And if we find a place that we can, you know, maybe put our people and maybe some shit don't happen over there, you looking at something a lot better. Like maybe there's less earthquakes on this planet. Maybe there's less storms. Maybe the storms aren't as harsh, right? There's a lot of shit on Earth that will kill us, that can kill us. We can kill ourselves. Obviously, we have literal missiles that can fly from one side of the planet to the other and blow up a lot of stuff and leave radiation that'll kill the rest of us. Like we have, but it's once we do it, like even an asteroid can kill us, but once we colonize that planet, we do have to understand there are certain like things as well that come with that, right? When you think of colonizing planets, you don't tend to think of the down the road effects because there's a lot of scientific like data, empirical data that essentially concurs with the idea that your DNA will change, right? Like not to sound like a kook, but when you're on a different planet and there's different things in that atmosphere, there might be different fucking like literal like things. I don't know how to, I guess chemicals, things of that nature that are at work to where it can change your whole genetic makeup. So over time, like the niggas that we put on, let's say Mars, are going to be different from the niggas that are on Earth. That's natural. So that's one of the things that like when we if we do this, the DNA will change. We'll be like different species at some point. There's a lot of things like even just, you know, I'm not trying to deter us from it. I'm just saying like there's so many things going on. Like even that, or we put some niggas over like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare when Conor McGregor and fucking Kit Harington was like on some sort of communist planet. I don't know what the fuck the idea was behind that video game, but I guess, you know what I'm saying? If you think about it like that, something like that can happen. You know, there's so many possibilities to colonize that are negative, but there also are positives, right? Like we get more resources as well. We get a lot more resources if we have a second planet. You know, maybe resources may not be scarce. Maybe we may not necessarily need we may not need metal to build our houses. There might be some sort of strange rock that's like, I don't fucking know. It looked like metal, but it's like stronger than metal, 6 times stronger than it, or some shit. Like, or it might be some wood that, like, you know what I'm saying? There's so many possibilities out there to give us resource. I'm not saying like it's gonna be like it could be just like that TV. I don't know if y'all ever seen it. It's a TV show on Netflix where this like these Korean niggas went to space and these niggas were starting to drink the space water, and the space water started making them drown themselves, right? Like they were drowning in their own they were drowning in their own liquids, right? It was so crazy to watch some niggas throw up all the water. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, some shit like that could happen, but we might be able to actually have more water, more fresh water. Even though technology is changing now where we actually can change some of that water. You know what I'm saying? And we might have a cheaper alternative, you know, by that time where we can have even more resource. So I feel like it's positives to it and it's negatives. And you got people who are for it that I would say are credible. You got Neil deGrasse Tyson, was a really, really smart astrophysicist nigga. He's really smart. And he a nigga too. But I really like that dude. He's really, really intelligent. He comes from the tree of Carl Sagan. I don't know if anybody knows Carl Sagan, but Carl Sagan was another great astrophysicist. Him, Miko Kaku, Elon Musk. Obviously, because that nigga wants to go to Mars. You got Stephen Hawking, who was like, yeah, y'all got 100 years. You know, he was in his little chair. He was like, y'all niggas got 100 years. You know, because like honestly, like y'all, like I'm telling you, nigga, we are always due every couple 100 years, 100 years. It's statistically proven we are due for a fucking disaster or a cataclysmic event that could literally destroy all of us, whether it be a sickness, a war. Like, we do this shit. This is what we do. This statistically proven. Like, there's not been one fucking place in time where a sickness, a bubonic plague. Think about the bubonic plague, nigga. We was almost out of here. We've had even worse shit. We've had extinction. We've had extinction events to where there was like 7,000 of us moving around this bitch. Do you know how crazy that? It's not even enough to build a civilization with, dog. That's not enough. We have been through a lot on this planet alone, nigga. This planet is out to get us. It's out to get us, whether we know it or not, whether it knows it or not, whether it's righteous or wrong, it is out to get us. We are fighting cataclysmic events every fucking 100 years is something. A nigga ate a bat these 100 years, and niggas was getting dropped like flies because of it. A nigga munched a bat, dude. He put a bat in some soup, and nigga, the whole world had to stop because of it. So, like, there are a lot of advantages to us getting the fuck off of this planet. We can possibly, my survival rate might go up. Like, and that's not even all of the shit that, like, to me, could get us fucked up. Like, think about Venus. Look at how Venus has turned out. Venus was just like Earth. Literally just like Earth. Same beautiful oceans, dried the fuck up. The carbon dioxide can't leave the atmosphere. So it just literally rains acid all day long. There's no atmosphere. There's nothing. We don't have the technology to just be like, oh, let's reverse that shit. Like, you know, on the video games and shit where the niggas be like, I just made this shit up, so we gonna save the planet. No, nigga, we don't have that. We don't have that. We barely have shit to stop asteroids. We barely got shit to stop asteroids from flying here. We do got stuff. We plant nukes. I seen them Japanese niggas was putting nukes on asteroids and bumping them off course. There's a lot of things that are being implemented because I think space is ramping up to, like, I do think that we are going to start colonizing because there's just too much. Like honestly, like, it's from our culture. Now we're a capitalistic society. We know that there's more resources. We know that there's more shit out there. We know that we can colonize. So we're going to do it. And naturally, we are curious to see what other shit looks like. Nigga, it's just in our nature. We just don't have the technology. You know, like, we got scientists who are working with black holes and stuff like that. Trying to figure out ways to I guess you could say, and it's hard because it damn near seems impossible. Honestly, a lot of space travel seems impossible. Like the deep space travel, it seems like when I look at a lot of the evidence, like a lot of videos, they tell you like it's hard. It's genuinely impossible right now. So, you got niggas trying to figure out, different engines. We just now getting plasma engines and plasma rockets. It's gradual. But I think culture-wise, we do have what it takes to literally go in there. Like, if they can find ways to use wormholes or, stuff like that, they'll be able to do it. Because we finding out that there's different dimensions, nigga. It's all types of shit. So there's ways that we could possibly manipulate the system to get to places faster to colonize. However, right now we don't have the technology, but I do think that there are a lot of advantages and there are a lot of disadvantages. Like niggas could come back with a bacteria bug and that shit'll turn them into a zombie. And now everybody on the planet is fighting like the Flood. Now the Flood is coming back and they're here and we don't have Master Chief. We don't have a big green mean virgin to save us from whatever the fuck is going on out there. We don't have that. We don't have the technology. So, and that brings me up to my second question is SETI, which is the search for intelligent extraterrestrial life. Are them niggas trying to get us slid on? Okay, because I know it sounds crazy because like Malik, they're government funded. Why would we do this? Listen, let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Look. They purpose is to look for intelligent life. You feel me? Right? They believe like, using frequencies to, because we use frequencies to communicate. We also use vibrations, whatever, blah, blah, blah in the air, but we use frequencies to communicate long range communications, right? We are using that, whether it be like microwaves, all types of waves, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. We're using that to listen. And here's the problem. It's not the listening. You can listen all the fuck you want. It's the sending out the signals is what's killing me, my nigga. So let me tell you why that's a problem. Oh man, you sound like wow. No, would you go outside everywhere you went? Would you go to your local grocery store, your liquor store, and every time you went to the fucking cashier, you just said, "Hey, my address is blah 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 blah." That's what the fuck SETI is doing to us. They're leaving. All right. Look how Pop Smoke got killed. He got killed because he accidentally left his fucking. He accidentally left his address on his shit. Nigga, we are broadcasting our shit to the entire galaxy. If anybody uses frequencies and these niggas have scientific advances and they come over here and stomp us, you know whose fault that's gonna be? Fucking SETI. That's gonna be SETI's fault. You don't go like, okay, you're giving our address to either alien Martin Luther King or Hernan Cortez. That's the two options that you have, my nigga. You have a nigga who has a dream or a nigga who dreams of conquering. Those are the two logical, and guess what? It's not right or wrong. Like when they conquer, they're not gonna come here and be like, oh shit, you know what? It's wrong as fuck that these niggas ain't got no technological advantages. That's kind of shitty for them niggas. No, they're gonna kill us. They're gonna fucking kill us because SETI didn't know what the fuck they was doing. That's not smart. I don't think that you should be sending any type of signals out to space. I don't give a fuck. We can look for it. If we stumble upon these niggas and we just like look to the left and it's just a planet and you see a ship come out, all right, cool. If it's anything like Halo where you just kind of find a ship, all right, cool. But for us to actively be looking for it, no. Especially at the expense of giving our address out? No. That's stupid. That is stupid. That is dumb. Like, okay. You know what though? They're not even the only niggas to do that. We don't even we don't have the technological advance to fight no niggas that find us first and get here first, mind y'all. Okay, because we just now talking and hypothesizing how to get to Mars. That shit gonna be in the next 10 years. That shit is it's got a schedule. It might get pushed back. If these niggas are able to hear us and be like, okay, we on our way to those niggas, we are fucked. And that's SETI's fault. Because SETI want to tell everybody where the fuck we live at. SETI is the little Instagram bitch that's posted the party on her story and got all 500 hood niggas, all trap lords, all Americans in first degree murder, all the all American first degree murder trap lord niggas on her Snapchat, and they see your party and now they want to come to your party. That's what SETI is. SETI is the Instagram bitch. This is setup bitch. And they don't even care. Everybody like, no. And on top of that, they ain't even found shit yet. They haven't found nothing. They haven't found a goddamn thing. The only thing that SETI has ever found that was like worth noting is the wow signal, right? And basically, it was almost like it sounded, it didn't really have no noise. It wasn't like a me wobble wobble wobble. It was like a bunch of, on a frequency, it was a bunch of like moving left and right. And them niggas was basically like, holy fuck, we've never seen something repeat itself, a frequency repeat itself before. We never seen nothing else past it. It never came back again. So, to be honest, it could have been them niggas sending out an SOS, right? That could have been their SOS. Them niggas could be dead. Like they could have just said hello, and we don't know how to communicate with them. So we just have this signal that we don't know what the origin is, but it's different from everything else. That's all we got from SETI and fucking goddamn 30, 40 fucking years of actual, like from the 80s to now, that's all we've gotten from these. Well, 70s, that's all we got from now. Is that. It's a fucking wow signal. Like, that's all we've got from the niggas that looking for aliens. So I feel like, and then on top of that, you know what? NASA did some dumbass shit like that too, actually. I don't know if y'all know, but they had a Voyager. They put this spacecraft together, right? So on this platinum record, right? Because this is some 60s shit. So you know how niggas in the 60s was. You know, they just kind of thought everybody was on they grind. They still do. All the people that was born in the 60s and lived in the 60s still think of that. But what they did was these niggas decided that they were going to put on a record our coordinates, our culture up until the 60s, some of our greatest monuments, some of our greatest songs. So a brother man made that, huh? Power to the people, huh? Yes, a nigga is in space right now, flying forever. Yes, niggas are in space forever. Thank you very much. But we're there. It's gradually flying, right? So if some aliens happen to stop, or this thing, gets smacked on a fucking asteroid, by the way, because it's gonna hit the asteroid belt soon or whatever. But anyway, if it gets past that, and these alien niggas just manage to pick up this thing that NASA shot off, because in hindsight, it sounds like some cool shit to do, like some dope ass shit to do. Nigga, no. But anyway, you have to be like Bob Dylan or some shit. You have to literally have a vinyl fucking player. Okay, you have to have a needle. So the alien niggas are gonna have to have a vinyl needle to play this shit. The only good thing that has done for us is NASA has at least let us know that if the aliens come back, they'll know nothing past the 80s. They'll know nothing. They'll be fucked. They'll be done for. We'll be able to see them. They'll be like, see? What a beautiful planet. We're like, okay, you guys are aliens, because nobody talks like that. Nobody around here says anything of the sort. You are aliens. So NASA kind of did the right thing. But SETI, there's no purpose. There's no point of what SETI does. I see absolutely nothing to it. These niggas are snitches. Honestly, I don't see it. I just don't understand the point of SETI. I don't. That's my rant on SETI. Honestly, but space is just so fucking, it's so interesting. Like when you, like, honestly, like, like I ain't really had too much to talk about past that. This really just, filler shit. But like space, even black holes, like how light bends around the hole. It never goes in it, but it bends. You can literally see light bending. Like they what movie is that? Oh my god, with Matthew McConaughey. Alrighty. Whatever that's, we're just gonna call it Space Cowboy. Space Cowboy Bebop with alrighty. Interstellar, that's what it is. Interstellar. They took 120 hours to get that one frame for that black hole. Because they took so much time and effort into the idea of what it is, like of what space is. And when you look at look at it, it's just so, like, that's in the middle of every galaxy. That's in the middle of every galaxy, my nigga. A black hole is at the middle of every fucking galaxy. And when you look at where you are on the galactic map, when you're think about it like being a grain of sand on a beach. Think about being a single solitary grain of sand on an entire beach, my nigga. You will not be able to touch every piece of that. You are a literal size of you are literally that. That's the size of your planet. You're not the size of the grain of sand. That's the size of your galaxy, nigga. That's the size of that. When you look at where the solar system is in the galaxy and where it's in a little, like, ours is a spinning rotate. There's a Milky Way. Ours is a little rotate. We're on like a fucking wing of it, right, my nigga? When you look at where we are in the local cluster of galaxies, and then you look at it where you are on the entire map of the universe, nigga. And then you think on top of that, there's also different dimensions, right? There's the theory of different possible dimensions of things happening at the same time, doing the same thing, but in different ways. You got stuff coming in from the third dimension, the fourth dimension. There's so much shit going on out there in space that it's like, nigga, it is scary. It's scary. It takes a true species to like evolve and like understand space, nigga, like in its entirety, because space has no rules. It has no bounds. That's what makes it so profound, is that nothing, it adheres to no rule that we have ever made. If we said that it has to go at a constant speed, that shit don't matter in space, nigga. Space don't give a fuck. Space do what it want. Space is like, nigga, I got an asteroid that stop and go at the same speed. They don't care because it's space. Space holds us no answers, but it has so many answers. It's so interesting. It's so it's not the right word, but it's like verbose. Like it's so much. It's literally, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I'm literally sitting here smiling because I'm just thinking of how much it is. And people say it's fake. Niggas say the earth is flat. And it's like, man, they say like, okay, well, things like, well, why on the moon landing they faked it? They was like, well, why does the flag look like it's flapping? It's like because they used aluminum. Because there's no wind in space. That doesn't exist. There's no atmosphere to create wind on the moon, my nigga. So, you know what I'm saying? It's shit like that. It's shit like niggas saying like, oh, well, the earth is flat. And you're like, bro, what are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, well, at the top, they won't let you go to Antarctica because it's flat up there. And I'm like, you mean besides all the niggas who've gone to Antarctica? Like, you can go to Antarctica. There's no point. It's not ideal. It's like, all right, do you want to spend... I'll give you an example. I like to go to the Bahamas. Okay, I'm a man of. I guess you could say a man of culture. I like to travel a little bit of myself. I'm a man of culture. But if somebody asks me, nigga, do you want to go to an all-inclusive hotel in the Bahamas, or do you want to go and see if the Earth is flat? And Antarctica, nigga, it would never cross my mind to go up that north to be that cold and miserable to say, well, I guess it's not. You will see me in the Bahamas 10 times out of 10 if I'm offered that. But you can go up there and see it. Like, I don't get it. Like, there's so many people that just like don't believe this shit. That nigga B.O.B. I had to, man, I stopped listening to that nigga music after that shit. I used to love I'll Be in the Sky. And I think he was on Nothing on You. I don't remember. I canceled that nigga. Because he was beefing with Neil deGrasse Tyson on like, he was like, you lying to niggas out here. You ain't telling niggas the truth. You trying to get niggas to take niggas' coats. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, where's your evidence? Where's your evidence that this shit is flat? And there's never any like actual like data that proves this. It's a bunch of theory. And like, it's just irritating because like in science, you can theorize all you want, but hypotheses, like, I mean, like a theory doesn't become the same thing as a fact. Like, you can hypothesize some shit, you can theorize some shit, but unless you actually turn it into practice and prove it, it means nothing. And if you can't prove that it's flat, it means nothing. Niggas have been using a globe for fucking hundreds of years. It's just baffling how people, and some people, they don't even like believe in aliens. Like, they just kind of believe like we're just in this planet and it's just like this planet only. Like for a long ass time, niggas on our planet thought that like the sun revolved around the earth. Nigga, what? It's like, yeah, everything revolves around us. Like, nigga, we are the center of the universe and the galaxy. Obviously, how narcissistic were we? Now we have all these actual proven ideas. You know, niggas had to sit in jail cells with doo-doo up to their shins and shit just to say like, hey nigga, do y'all see that Mars over there? Them niggas was like, that's blasphemy. He was like, no, Mars is right there. Look, it was like, my nigga, if you speak blasphemy one more time, I'm gonna put you in jail. And the nigga was like, I don't get this shit. I don't get it. I'm trying my hardest to like be smart out here, and these niggas are holding me back. We've held ourselves back from learning about space, about technology for a while. Couple times, Renaissance Center, times like that. People finally was able to get smart in the Renaissance, but like before that, they was holding niggas back. They was like, nigga, did you just say something about medicine? Get the fuck out of here. Kill him. It was all God. Like, now we get to learn so much about space and our intelligence is going up that it's just like, bro, there's nothing but fascination in space, man. Like, just all over and it's a lot of shit I ain't even cover. And I'm gonna come back and cover that shit too. Like, I want to cover like if niggas see aliens, like, do you think like religion will change? Like, how the fuck would niggas feel if they find out that like that movie like Prometheus, I brought it up earlier, like the whole idea is that them niggas are engineers and they engineer life over time, and they basically kind of like drunk some shit, kind of like he dissipated, but he fell into the river and his genetic composition created life that would be able to be seedable on that planet. Remember how I said DNA changes shit? Remember that shit earlier, nigga? Because I'm smart. But essentially, how would people feel if they found out that they were engineered by something that wasn't a deity? You know? Like, I wonder how people would feel. Like, or like, there's so many things. Like, how would people feel if they found out like the universe was actually a living entity that actually was conscious, that genuinely is conscious and has no idea where the fuck it came from? How would people feel then? Like, how'd you feel if we was all in this shit together, nigga? Like, this nigga's creating shit, but he don't know why he's doing it. He's just doing it. So did somebody create him? We have no idea what's going on. It's so interesting at every point. And sometimes I sound like that nigga that meme nigga, they be like aliens. Like, and I literally might be that crazy nigga. But I don't think so. I actually just think that it's something that's been on my mind and I don't really have nobody to talk to about it. And I really like it. Like, I just like the idea of just, gas giants. Like, nigga, Jupiter has no surface. There is no hard surface, nigga. It is gas held together by gravity. What is gravity? We don't motherfucking know. Ain't that something, nigga? We are learning shit as we go. We finding out that there are 9th planets, nigga. There's planets hidden behind planets in our solar system, nigga. We are finding out that there are literal habitable moons. Titan is a habitable moon. We are finding out, nigga, that there is shit in our own solar system. Pluto is still a planet. Neil deGrasse Tyson, you bitch ass nigga, I still love you. But Pluto is a planet. It's got 2 moons. You can't tell me shit. Pluto is a planet. But space is amazing. I implore everybody who may not like space, man, I'm telling you, I implore you niggas. I hope y'all niggas have listened this far. Because, man, I implore y'all to continue to at least just try to expand your mind, bro. Because it trickled down and shit, nigga. When you think about it, you be like, bro, you be thinking like, man, it's, nigga, like, we are on a rock flying in space that's being created by, like, more rocks flying in space. And some nigga probably living the same life as me, and I'm crying over a bit. Excuse me. I'm crying over a woman. I'm crying over this. I'm crying over that. I'm stressed over this. Like, nigga, you don't understand the world is bigger than this planet. It's bigger than this planet, nigga. It's an asteroid that'll come and wipe all your issues away, nigga. It's one, I guarantee you, it's an asteroid out there that'll wipe your worries away. It's a fucking civilization that'll wipe your worries away. It's a bacteria, amoeba that'll wipe your shit away, nigga. It's so many things out there that'll wipe your stress, bro. We be stressed over the wrong shit because it's big, bro. It's big, bro. The world, or the universe is huge, man. And us on this planet as people, we genuinely need to stop fucking crying about each other on the planet and shit. Like, I'm cool with, like, going to the bottom of the ocean and shit, but, like, we need to start moving. I do think we need to move, because it'll save us. I really do. I really think it'll help our survival. I don't think it'll do. Like, in the end, or obviously in the long run, we'll be different from humans anyway. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, we evolving constantly any fucking way, nigga. We getting new appendages every day. So, that was my talk. That's my little science talk. I hope somebody listened this far. Probably not. If you did, though, thank you. I don't know what I'm gonna come here and talk about next week. I might talk about, like, Ben Simmons and shit, because I don't really know. I feel like Philly might have a little bit of. I feel like Philly need a little bit more blame than they let on, because, nigga, there's a reason why a 6'9" nigga can't shoot in a point guard like Marco Fultz, who was shooting before he came to Philly, now no longer knew how to shoot a fucking free throw, right? This nigga was shooting a free throw like a baby deer walk, So it's like, I probably might talk about some shit like that, like just like even like, clearly Ben Simmons got some mental health issues going on, and nobody really give a fuck because he a dude. Like, I feel like that nigga needs some help, and nobody really give a fuck to give him the help because he a man. So I might talk about that. I don't really know. I might talk about, like, I might try to get, like, a guest on and talk about, like, why I feel like the NHL is just so fucking, like, it's dying, nigga. Bro, I just seen the playoff fucking advertising for them niggas, bro. They still playing Party Hard. They say, let's get up, party going, let's get up. Like, they use a song from, like, Madden 04, and I'm just like, bro, do you guys know? Like, I almost just feel like they locked a marketing team in a fucking marketing, like, in a building somewhere, and, like, they only feed them, like, spiked dye tip, like, fucking shit. Like, they don't know what the outside world is. They don't have Samsungs. These niggas still have Nokias. Because there's no way that you have no clue that Kid Rock shouldn't be your fucking halftime host in 2019, my nigga. You should be like, Why don't they want to watch this? Like, and on top of that, they're the worst all-star game in the world, where all their stars come together. All of them are fucking dry as fucking paint, niggas. Firstly, and then on top of that, you gotta watch 46 games to get to the final game. Like, get the fuck out of here. We're not doing that, my nigga. No. So I might come in here and talk about shit like that, bro. So I don't know. Well, I'll keep you guys posted, eh? So have a good week. Wherever you guys are listening to this, you know, keep your heads high. You know, and for you guys up there, it's okay to cry and shit like that, bro. Let it out. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Take care.